Okay, hello, and welcome to another diving deeper into the good girl syndrome. I know we're getting close to Christmas, so that doesn't mean that for those of us who still have some remnants of good girls in us, that stops over the holidays. So neither will we. So today I want to continue diving into one of the many topics that I cover in Good Girls No More, and it's perfectionism. I know it strikes a chord in many of us, especially good girls. This pervasive trait that often finds its roots in the good girl syndrome. And it's a conditioned response shaped by our experiences growing up, as they all are. And I tend to call myself a recovering good girl, and yet things like perfectionism definitely sneaks up on me. And but what I'm happy to say is that, for example, today I haven't exactly made much of an effort. I haven't really done anything to my hair. Okay, so I've put some mascara on. But in general, or rather, I'm really happy to say that there's many things that I'm not holding on to so tightly anymore. Because of course, personal appearance could be a great thing to obsess over, striving to maintain a flawless image at all times. Might even spend, excessive time in front of the mirror, dieting, whatever, right? For some other good girls might find intense pressure in excelling academically, striving for perfect grades in every subject. And what goes hand in hand with it, that of course, is fear of failure. Good girls may have this intense fear of failure, avoiding taking risk or pursuing new opportunities due to the possibility of disappointing themselves or others. And I see also this creeping, or I saw this creeping in for myself when I was starting with the Good Girls No More, and but it's not perfect here. Oh, it should be different. And thankfully, I moved past that and went ahead with the program anyway. But there was some days when the voices were quite loud. And just as another final example, perfectionist tendencies may manifest as a need to control certain aspects of your life. You might meticulously plan and organize every detail of a certain action you're going to take. It could be anything from a project that you're working on to having the perfect holiday, going on holiday, and you control everything in order to make sure that it's perfect. Now, these are just some examples of how we might display our perfectionism. Of course, there's many, many more ways that can show up. But I know for myself, it is something that has showed up many, many times in my life. So like I said earlier, it's a conditioned response that's very often shaped by our experiences growing up. And to prove another point in my not being so attached to my perfectionism, our little kitten is making lots of noise around the house. Right now, she's just sitting on my foot. There is a lemon seed that she's now playing with. So again, I haven't controlled my environment, so it's perfect for this live. So I'm feeling very happy about that. Anyway, so when you reflect on your childhood, it often begins within, as you've heard me say before, within complex dynamics of our families, where we may have felt unseen, unheard, unmet. And these pieces sound simplistic perhaps, but I would say that they're some of the deepest woundings we have when we're not fully seen for who we are, when our voice doesn't get heard, and we're really not met. And that can mean because our caregivers are too busy with themselves, with their own pains. That could be an example, right? But these are things that really run deep in our psyche. And so in those moments, we might have sought out safety by adapting our behavior to become pleasers and hoping to ease any pain that we're experiencing in our homes. And that pleasing part of that pleasing is that we become, we look for perfection. And, it really is the desire to make things better that led us to don the mask of good girl and striving to attain this, in fact, unattainable perfection. Yeah, there is no such thing. And even if we thought we might have found, oh, this is now perfect, might not be perfect for somebody else. So in one of my modules in Good Girls No More, we have a module called Embracing Imperfection. And for a lot of good girls, myself included, you've got to take a few big, deep breaths, embracing imperfections. And we really delved into the depths of all of our perfectionistic tendencies. And throughout the module, the participants discovered that perfectionism isn't, in fact, a badge of honor, but a self-imposed burden that actually, at the end of the day, it stifles growth, it stifles authentic self-expression. We think, let's say we look at, on paper, everything looks perfect, but at what cost is important to ask ourselves. So during this particular module, it was a profound realization that embracing imperfection unleashed this powerful sense of liberation, like a real freedom, and allowing the women to start to see that, wow, I can start to live life on my terms. For me, perfectionism really feels like a straitjacket. Many of the good girl traits does that actually. But we can be frozen in inaction if we're waiting for that one day where we will be perfect, X will be perfect. So I wanted to share a couple of examples with you, what came out of the Good Girls No More module. And one courageous woman, she revealed how her relentless pursuit of perfection had held her back from pursuing her dreams. I imagine the amount of people that never go for their dreams because they think it's never going to be perfect. And then you're just frozen in that. And then she actually realized that perfection had become a shield protecting her from the vulnerability of actually putting herself out there. And it was really a beautiful realization for her, if I can use that word in something that was actually quite painful for her. And then another woman, she shared that she was starting to see that perfection was, in fact, an illusion. Now we can maybe sit back now on this live and say, well, of course it is. But for her, she hadn't seen it. And then she started to see that her true growth was lying in embracing her quirks, her vulnerabilities, and the messy aspects of just being a human being, as we all are. And she realized that it was really through embracing imperfection that she could start on the road to freedom, freeing herself from the expectations she's placed on herself, and from the fear she had, this deep fear of measuring up, or rather the fear of not measuring up. Finally, there was one other woman who shared that she'd always strived for perfection in every aspect of her life. And she'd actually believed all this time that being flawless would bring her happiness, would bring her love and acceptance, right? Imagine how potent that is. But this pursuit of perfection really took a toll on her well-being. And also she shared that it prevented her from fully expressing herself. The amount of time she swallowed, she didn't say, express her creativity, express her views, express her love. And then she shared a story about a recent presentation she had given at work. And she had spent hours and countless hours preparing. And despite of that, she made a small mistake during the talk. Now, in the past, this would have devastated her. Yeah? Because it was so important for her to be perfect in order to feel acceptance and love. Yeah? And so even she made this small mistake. She had in the past, any mistake it would cause her to question her competence and value. However, this time was different. She recognized that her imperfection rather, didn't diminish her worth. Instead of dwelling on this small mistake, she chose to embrace it as an opportunity of growth. And she acknowledged that her authenticity and vulnerability made her more relatable to her audience because she admitted it. So, perfectionism is complex to navigate, but it's important to remember that our imperfections are not flaws to be hidden, but actually essential elements of our unique stories. They're like brushstrokes that paint the vibrant canvas of our life. So I invite you to simply reflect on your own relationship with perfectionism. Have you ever found yourself trapped in the pursuit of flawlessness? And how has then that impacted the way that you're able to live your life? So embracing imperfection is in fact a courageous act, one that opens doors for self-acceptance, self-love, and freedom to live authentically. So I'd love to hear your reflections on embracing imperfections. And please just write a little note in the comment section below this video. Thank you for listening in from my heart to yours. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day. Bye for now.